The holiday season is often filled with joy and celebration, but for many, it can also bring grief and loneliness or complicated emotions. So this morning, I'm joined by licensed professional counselor and life coach Devin Estes to help us find joy and connection this holiday season. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So glad to have you back. So
Yes.
the holidays are supposed to be joyful, right? And I think we all can maybe get into the spirit of that, but it also can be very overwhelming. So why do you think emotions like grief or sadness often feel almost intensified during this time of year?
Well, Erin, this time of year is about reflection, right? So people are reflecting on the year past, the year to come. We're thinking about family traditions and things. So then that's going to trigger a little sadness if there have been some changes, if you've had loss, divorce, changes in jobs, because some of those traditions will change.
Yes, indeed. Okay, so for people who are, because it almost sounds like what you're saying is we're grieving certain things, whether it's
Absolutely.
our job, our relationship, maybe you broke up with someone, and that can almost feel like a grieving
Absolutely,
situation
it
as
is.
well. And so for people who are in that space, what's a healthy way to honor those feelings without forcing yourself to feel happy or to be happy in this space when you know you're not?
Yeah, there's no one way to grieve, and you do not have to fake happiness, right? So one of the things we talk about in therapy is riding the wave, allowing yourself to feel sad, to feel angry, to feel irritable, to be confused, to also experience joy. Make room for joy is the thing that I encourage people, but you know, just allowing yourself to ride the wave of whatever shows up, giving yourself permission.
Indeed. Okay, so let's talk about that a little bit further, go a
Sure.
little bit deeper in riding that wave. What if we have lost someone in this life? And so whether that looks like a family member, a pet even, it can feel very empty, especially during those times, because obviously this holiday is about family, about being around those that you love. And so how can we process those feelings and those emotions?
Great question. One of the things that I recommend for my clients is a technique I call organized grieving. So what you're doing is setting aside a designated amount of time to maybe 45 minutes, you set a timer, and you are thinking about that person in their fullness. The good times, the bad times, the indifferent times, and then when it's over, you set a statement, a prayer of gratitude, and then you change your channel into your regular life. This is modeling integrated grief, which is the goal of grief, which is that we want to visit grief without getting stuck there.
I like that. Okay, it's almost, it is just what you said, organized grief. I was about to use your exact vocab term, because that's exactly what it is. And I like how you put almost a stop on it, because it's very easy to just fall into the slump and stay there. It's, bed rotting is my favorite activity when I'm not upset.
Couch surfing, bed rotting, yes,
it's
absolutely.
very easy to just take a hard turn. And so loneliness is also an experience that I think many feel during this time. But why is this season a good time, do you think? If you haven't spoken with your family, or if you've been distant with some friends, why is right now a good time to reconnect?
This is the time of year that people are actually more forgiving. They're more open to grace. They're more open because we are reflecting and we're thinking about the good times. And so if there wasn't a major fallout, sometimes people are just open to reconnecting with you. And so this is a great time to try vulnerability and reaching out to some old connections.
Can I ask you, because in that vulnerability, there's a chance of being rejected, right?
Oh, yeah.
What do we do with those emotions then? Are we saying it's okay to feel the feels again?
Yes.
And then organize grief and say, okay,
Absolutely.
I tried and move on. Look at me applying.
Look at you.
Yes.
Look at you.
I love it. Okay, so let me see. How do we know then when is the right time? How do we know it's right for us to reach out?
So that's a really great question also. So one of the things is thinking about the tone in which you ended the relationship. Sometimes life is lifing, and we just kind of fall out with people, not fall out, but fall off with people.
Fall out, fall off, all the things.
And so if there wasn't anything that was egregious, then maybe there's somebody you can come back and revisit. If there was something a little bit more traumatic, that requires a little bit more thought and effort. So maybe consulting with a counselor, a life coach, a pastor, or just a trusted friend that maybe knows the story, and have a safety plan around how to connect with that person. We don't have to go all in if there was something pretty bad.
Okay, so setting boundaries and making sure we're
Absolutely.
taking care of ourselves when we're putting ourselves back in maybe some old spaces.
Yes.
Now, let's talk about new spaces, because I feel like now is also a really good time to maybe make new connections.
It is. I actually encourage my clients to date during this time. The people are outside, okay? We have
the men outside?
The men are outside. Girl,
Okay, girl.
We got football games. We have high school football championship on Saturday. We have Cowboys.
That's a good place to go and meet. We're gonna have to talk.
Well, yes, ma'am.
Look, she's like, I dabble in the relationship stuff as well.
Absolutely. And so this is a good time. People are getting together, house parties, company parties, all the things. Get out and socialize.
This is such good tips this morning. If someone wants to find you, if they're feeling down during this holiday season, maybe they're looking for some dating advice and they want to know where to go. Tell me where they can find you.
You can follow me at Therapy with Dev on Instagram, and you can find me online at therapistdev.com.
Thank you, Devin, so much for being
You're
here
welcome.
this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Such good tips.